everybody in.
Hi, Ruth. Monisha, hi. And then I'll need to know, is it Tamara? Tamara? That's important distinctions to make.
That's Tamara.
Tamara. Hi, Tamara.
Hello, how are you guys?
Doing well.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Yes, glad to have you.
Ruth. Hi, Ruth.
Hey, Ruth. How you doing, boo? Are you at work?
There I am.
Are you
good? Yeah, I'm at work with my husband.
Ah, sugar snaps.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm downtown in the new skyrise in the city.
Nice.
What new skyrise?
Oh, my husband's in construction. They're building one Chicago. It's on Chicago and what's the corner? The square block? Chicago, Dearborn, Superior, and State. So it's a whole square block. Yeah.
Oh,
so
wow.
like
Awesome.
a construction site.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, but I got to make time.
Hey. You got to make time. Okay. And then we have Miss Tamara and Monisha. Hello.
Hi, ladies. I'm working too, but I'm still tapping in from working.
Hey, I'm glad you were able to tap in. How
Yes.
are you doing in Texas?
I'm doing wonderful, just driving ride share and drive share and all the other delivery services, getting this money.
Hi, Susie.
Hi.
That's what's up. And I think
And I'm super excited to be back in the 21 Day Goddess. You rock. This whole space that you created rock, and I'm just happy to be here.
Yes, good. We're happy to have you back. Thank you. And then Monisha, how are you, girl?
Hi, Nicole. I am good, hon. How are you? I'm so happy to be back.
Yes.
Around.
Yes.
I told
you?
Stay out my head, Nicole, and you ain't listened yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. Say it again. I apologize.
I told you the first day to get out my head, and you ain't stopped yet.
See, what had happened was...
I am loving it. I'm so happy to be back, and I'm ready to rock.
Okay, awesome. What we're going to do, we're going to get started. I know there's a few people, everybody's now texting me talking about they're running a little late. Some are feeling under the weather. So the show must go on.
Yes.
So I'm really excited to do this again. As you all know, I'm Nicole Harry, and I just have to say I'm really even more excited because now I have a name as co-creators, and I have two co-creators with me, and excited to introduce them and talk about them as well. Now this is round 4 of 21 Day Goddess Time Challenge, and this was birthed. There was a year where I went through a deep depression, about 1.5 years long depression. And I've always been into self-healing, energy work. My mama is the one who told me, hey, did you know you can do oracle and tarot card readings? And I was like, no. She's like, come on, let's go. So we went to the magical store and she blessed me with my first tarot cards. It was the wizard cards. And literally when you go to the store to pick out your cards, anybody and everybody could do this. They call you like your crystals. So you just look around and you will gravitate towards one and they will speak to you, and your body will speak to it too. And there's your first match. So I started, playing around with them, studying them. And then I was like, oh, wow, I can do this, right? But I kept it under wraps for the longest because I was like, I'm not reading other people. I'm going to use this for myself. So when I went through the depression, I really didn't think I was going to get out, y'all. Just transparency. I saw like in network marketing, my team kind of falling apart too. I saw in my personal life, everything was falling apart. And I couldn't wear the mask anymore. You guys know that commercial with the circle and it's a smiley face, but then it's like, and it talks about depression. That I literally look like that commercial. It got so bad that I was being told to be on antidepressants. And that's when I kind of woke up halfway, I would say, in the I need to get out of this because now I can't get myself out. I'm so deep in this Alice in Wonderland hole that I'm scratching at the walls and nothing, I can't grab not a damn thing. So the fact that I couldn't get myself out showed like, oh shit, you're deep. The fact that I couldn't holistically get out and someone's telling me now, a doctor's telling me, guess what? You might have to get on a small dose of antidepressants. I just cried. And I said, okay, it's time to change. I was like, you gotta find a way. And you're not going to do it with Western medicine. So I started taking my time and finding little things that would make me happy. Finding rituals, routines. I had to switch my rituals and my routines up to see, okay, what's gonna work in the now. And transparency, what really worked and helped me was allowing myself to really go through the flow of feeling sad and wanting to just stare at the wall. So I would just stare at the wall. And then the next day it'd be like, okay, I'm ready to get up and go get something to eat. If it took me 2 hours to look in the grocery store, it took me 2 hours to look in the grocery store. And I always left with the same items, a box of cereal and some almond milk, no vanilla rice milk all the time, but it was okay. Then when I started doing that, then I was able to shine light on, okay, let's do these video diaries. As you guys know, when you're doing your readings, you're journal writing. I used to journal write, but then in journal writing, I would move too fast. I would like, couldn't keep up with my thoughts. And then my tears would mess up my ink. And then I couldn't read what I wrote before. So I started doing video diaries. So by this time when I was like, okay, let's slowly put some things in place. You have to honor the speed that you're in too. Our mind can want to move faster and want to kick our ass, but our body's like, yo, we're going to take our time in this and we need you to love us while doing it. So that's when I knew the loving myself needed to be in sync even more. So I started doing video diaries again. And then taking long showers and baths really helped. The spiritual baths, taking long showers. And I just started putting things in place. When I started healing and changing things around, I also got a personal trainer. I started changing my diet. With me being vegan, I lost some of the omegas, so the omega-3. So I needed to take turmeric in my shakes and stuff and exercise and work out. So I had to get a personal trainer because it wasn't just working out, you needed to sweat. So when you're in a deep depression, they say work out and be active, but you need to be super like working out, like sweating to really feel the pheromones and all the things hormonically that happens to us when we're working out. So it was a lot of things that I discovered in doing this. So when I started picking up my cards again, because again, it you can know what tools to pick up, but sometimes it's like having the momentum or having the motivation, shall I say, to pick up your tools. Because again, you're in a depression. You know, I was in a depression, and even if I know what to do, doesn't mean I'm actually going to do it right away. I have to allow myself to process it. So I started doing my oracle readings. I started going to other workshops and heart healing circles. I started reaching out and asking for help because as even if a doctor, a heart surgeon can't do he can't do surgery on himself, right? So, and reaching out and asking for help and letting people know, you know, I'm in this depression, I'm trying to get out, helped me a lot. And it made me even stronger because before, I know a lot of people, they're like, they don't want to ask for help, or they they have their own reasons, but I knew I needed to ask for help because I knew I needed the support. And that was another huge step for me, was to ask for support, because I'm always supportive of other people, and for me to come out and support for me to ask for support just felt like too much, like I'm asking for too much, or who am I? You're supposed to know how to get out of this. Like, how could you, it, all the negative seeds was coming in. But at the end of the day, we're human beings and we're all here to help each other. It doesn't matter if you're an expert or you've been through it or what have you. It's important that you have a circle and create that circle. And so that's when I started really connecting with my tribe and going through who am I really gonna fuck with and who am I not gonna fuck with? And you really start seeing things. So once I was able to get out, I hit, great ranks with my business. That was really awesome. I started changing things. I hit regional diamond. It's a rank in network marketing at that time. And then I ended up moving to New York. And when I got to New York, I was so happy with the success of being able to find a tribe, be in a community, and find the holistic tools that helped me get out, that I was like, you know what, I should be able to create something that's going to help other people, heal or do the root work. See, healing, we have root work that needs to be done. We have the shadow and we have the light, right? And the shadow is always the lessons that we need to learn, always the emotions that we have to deal with, allow to accept. So I created this program so people who may not know how to do root work or may need assistance can be able to go deep within and ask themselves certain questions, or with the cards and the alignment and how this all rolled out. This wasn't really me. I'm just a vessel. I really can't even take full credit of creating this program because it was given to me and I was just supposed to do it. But I know that it helped me through my darkest hours, and it helps me. I continue to do goddess time and do my own cards, do my crystal readings, take spiritual baths, do what I need to do to move forward, because it's like the Matrix. We're going in each level. There's always going to be the same stuff that's going on when you know your cycles, but what do you pick up ahead of time to be prepared for your cycle so you can have a softer landing? So here's goddess time being birthed. I remember when I made it, I was 14 days in, right? I had one more week to make this whole program. And transparency, when I made it, I couldn't get the last week in until maybe 2 weeks later. I'm like, man, why am I not feeling it? I couldn't feel myself getting this last week for you guys. And then one day I decided to have my own magical ceremony, and I did some dosing with shrooms. So I was in my room. I had the candles lit. I'm being transparent with you guys because if I don't, then hey, you ain't gonna know the real deal of how this was created, because it was so magical. And I was in my room, and you all know how my room in New York was very fairyland, very fairy tale, perfect setting, perfect ambiance. And I remember being in this almost born again state. Like I had a whole ceremony, and my friend was on the sofa and she was DJing. And when I say she was DJing, she had the best music for everything that I was going through and flowing with. And I ended up picking up the cards, and I could hear, like, it was like I could hear them say, okay, now you're ready. Now it's time. And I'm like, now it's time. And I remember just picking up the cards and just easily flowing through the whole 7 days. And then picking up my other magical cards, because the last 7 days it's a different speed, y'all. And picking up my other cards and looking and seeing how beautiful this spread was, and was like, oh my gosh, my last week. Here it is for everyone. So it's such a blessing to be used as a vessel, and unconventionally for a lot of people how I did it and how it is, because a lot of people, they don't understand, certain plants and certain herbs that are actually meant for good and not just for harm, just like ayahuasca. And what's that one stuff with the frog poison? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Julie, you know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about, but I don't know the name of it.
Okay.
Talk
So
about
there's
it.
other stuff that just helps people purge, basically, purge out some of the things that are not needed. There's plenty of ceremonies or what have you. So having my own private ceremony to finish the 21-day Goddess Time Challenge, and then just to hear you guys' results and you guys actually coming back round after round to do the healing that is necessary for yourself just makes it a success right there, because it's all about you all, what you're getting from it, and how do you actually spiritually get in tune and do the healing that's needed in all the chakras. How do you find out what is your spiritual connection? Because there's a lot of people who are not sure how to do that or where to start, and 21-day Goddess Time Challenge is a perfect way to start. And I just thank you guys for just hearing my story, and how I created it, and just being a part of it. I think is just awesome. Okay.
Someone's responded to your
Mambo
question.
cleansing.
Yeah.
Oh, you can unmute yourself, Miss Alana.
Yeah, I just looked it up for you.
Thank you. Yes. Yes. One of my friends did that. She actually still has, I think 4 scars from it, because they inject it on your shoulder or what have you. And you go through a whole purging ceremony too. And you usually with shamans. Shamans are there to help you, and to be there as you go through the emotions and the bodily functions that happen when you're purging. Okay, so that's my story. So you guys are in for a treat this round. So I have co-creators, and this time we have 2 co-creators. It's really awesome. The first one I want to bring up is Miss Alana Bell. Miss Alana Bell is in Seattle right now, y'all. We have been friends since college. When I first moved to Chicago from Rhode Island, Providence, Rhode Island, little dot on the map, that's me, hi. Moved to Chicago for school, and Alana Bell and I shared, we stayed at the hostel on University of Chicago's campus. So we were with the upper class men, our people, the graduates, upper grads, and they were international students. So we were living it up because we thought we lived in a castle and we were running shit. So we had so much fun. When I say so much fun, and to go full circle, you know, we've been prayer partners. We're just sisters, and to go full circle to come back around, and she's into the holistic healing, and she's now teaching it and having some people one-on-one involved with her as she's helping people heal. I just was like, oh, you have to be a part of this program. And she was hands down ready to do it. And I'm excited to welcome her as one of our co-creators, Miss Alana Bell. How you doing over there with that smile, baby?
Hi, thank you, Nikki. Y'all just don't know, I love my sister so much. When we met in a stairwell, and we started talking, and I was like, well, yeah, I'm from Seattle. And she screamed and was like, I think you may have hugged me, I don't remember, but the energy that Nikki has been there since day one. And she's just been such a gift to me, and I'm grateful to be here with all of you. As Nikki said, I'm here in Seattle. And really, when I think about the work, my purpose work in the world, it really is about reconnecting people to their spirits. And, you know, a lot of the work that I've done has been in education, working in diversity, equity, inclusion, and access, and realizing that for all the years that I did that work, the missing piece was the connection to spirit. So many people were focusing on the intellectual aspects, but weren't bringing in the embodied experience, because for people who are marginalized and oppressed, that's an embodied experience. It's not something that we intellectualize. We feel it in our whole being. And so I kind of have, in some ways, moved away from that work, because I realized that people just were not connected to their spirits. And so a lot of what I do is really one-on-one work with people. And that involves teaching meditation, mindfulness techniques. But really, most importantly, what I've realized is that a lot of people don't have anyone in their life who will lovingly bear witness to their story. who will actually listen, who will actually synthesize and then reflect back what someone needs to hear, because it is my belief that everyone has the answers already within them. But if you can have a guide and someone who cares enough to wholly listen to your story and be there and walk along that path with you, not do the work for you, but be there with you, that's the game changer. And that's where transformation can happen, because this shit can be real scary. I have been to what I call the swamp a lot. And I'm coming out of the swamp actually as we speak. I'm seeing little buds, but you know, I've had people with me on that journey, Nicole being one of them. And so I'm just so blessed to be here with all of you, learning with all of you, co-creating with all of you. And again, just really setting forth an intention throughout this experience for the highest and best for all of us. So
Yes, thank you, Miss Bell.
Of course.
I love it. I love it. I love it. The next person we're gonna bring up is Miss Julia. Y'all know Julia from all the other seasons, all the other episodes. I love it. And she has her company with PS Yoga, as in, well, Science of the Body. She has rebranded herself. Really excited. She's wearing one of her little hoodies. You can show that off, Miss Julia. Miss Julia, take it away. You're not shy.
Hi. Hi, hi everybody. So nice to see you guys again, and some of new faces too. A quick just little bit about myself. I have been teaching yoga and meditation for 12 years. So actually, well, this coming year will be 13 years. I opened up a healing center in 2008 during that last depression that we hit. The whole world was falling apart, and I was just like, oh my God, everybody needs yoga right now. And my mom was really mad. She's like, Julia, the whole world's falling apart. Everybody's losing everything, and you want to open a business up. And I was like, we're losing everything. If I lose everything, we lose everything already. And I found a little space and opened up a center and started teaching yoga. At the moment, I didn't know as much as I have learned throughout the years, but I definitely knew that I had some cool information that the community needed to learn about. And here I am. I've done 3 different expansions. I have an awesome team of healers. We are now a metaphysical healing and beauty spa. So we do more than just yoga. We do yoga, massage, body work, and skin aesthetics. So it's really, really neat. And then as far as I like to talk about how I got involved in this Goddess Time Challenge through my business. Well, for years in business, we used to do something similar called goddess workshops once a month. We would do these goddess days on full moons or new moons. And I had this shaman that actually used to live down the block from me. And she would host these workshops once a month at my studio for years. She just randomly came in one day and just started teaching me all this amazing, amazing rituals about spirits and animals. And I would just host her once a month. And come this January or past January, she unfortunately passed away. And at the same time, or shortly after, me and Nikki were talking, and I just felt that she's not here, but I kind of had to like finish what she started a little bit. I definitely don't know everything that she knew, but I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot about spirit and community and meditation, and the power of a group of women together and what we could do for healing. And so I want to continue this. And so when Nikki brought this up, I was like, I need to be part of this. I think that Danette will want me to do that. And so here I am teaching all this amazing traditional stuff. And today, though, we are not doing our normal ceremony, which we will be doing one in probably the next full moon with you guys. But today we thought that we'd start it with a little bit of breath work and meditation work that I'd like to lead us with for a little bit, because all of this stuff that we're learning in these challenges every day that we have to do require us to sit still, reflect, meditate, journal. There's a lot involved in goddess time. You know, it's not just what these little tasks are. It's about how do we even sit still and get into our mind. And as much as we just want to be able to sit there and do the work, believe it or not, you have to train your body to do it. And there's muscles that you need to train to do it. And so I like to show us some techniques to build muscles in our body to be able to breathe, to meditate, to sit still, the diaphragm, these hidden muscles inside our chest cavity that are required, that we have to train and we have to learn how to use them. And that's the key of sitting still, because we all want to sit still and see what's inside this magic kingdom. But if our body is not ready physically, it's really hard to sit still with distractions. How many of us have hard time just sitting with not feeling aches and pains in their knees, their back, and everything has to do with that. So the first step is learning how to strengthen our insides. I got involved in all of these practices through serious back traumas I had as a child. So I found yoga, massage, meditation on a physical healing level to me very, very powerful. And so that's why I want to come here and teach you guys all this cool stuff that you could do to strengthen your insides by just different ways to regulate your breath and different ways to control your breath. So before we start with a little breath work exercise, I didn't know if Nikki wanted to say anything or if anybody had questions or comments for that. Otherwise, we'll start. I'll give you guys a moment to unmute or say anything. Otherwise, I like to start with some breath work. You ready? Okay, so nod your head if we're ready. Yes? Okay, good. Okay, so first of all, I want us to all sit in a really comfortable position and sit up tall. So if you feel that you're slouching, and this is going to require work. So if this is easy, you're doing it wrong. Okay. So I want everybody to sit up, and I want you to lift your chest up for just a moment. Okay. Now, just in case that put any pressure on your low back, I want you to pull your stomach in like you're sucking into a pair of jeans. So I want you to like suck your stomach in, like, and even if you feel like it's not moving or if it's not sucking in, if it happens in your head, it counts. So don't worry if it's not actually like you're not pulling and moving it all the way back. I want you just to think about pulling your low back in so you don't arch this low back, because we have a tendency whenever we open this heart cavity up, we have a tendency of overarching our back. So open the chest, lift it up, and then pull your stomach in and engage it. Now, in a few moments, if you just feel like, oh my gosh, I gotta release this for a moment, do that. Because again, these are muscles that we have to retrain, rebrand inside of our body. So again, open and pull it. Okay, so that's the first step. And stay very relaxed in your face. The first pranayama I like to teach you is something called ujjayi breath. And when I say pranayama means energy in our body, this breath regulation, learning how to regulate breathing. We are all here because we want to take control of our lives. But in order to take control of your life, if it can take control of your breath and what's happening inside first. So we're going to see how much control we have over this breathing mechanism. We're going to change the way we breathe, move it in one direction, go into the other way, and seeing what happens when you actually learn how to move it in all the different cool patterns. So to start, sit up tall, and I want everybody to blow out of their mouth like they're fogging a mirror. Okay. This throat muscle, we call it the Jalahar Bandha, the chin lock, the throat lock. It's a very powerful thing that we sometimes forget how to use. You know, has anybody realized one day that they forgot to communicate well with somebody, right? Or they forgot to say something they wanted to say? It's that throat chakra. Learn how to use it, engage it. So do that again, a little bit harder this time. Now, I want you to do the same thing, except with your mouth closed. And I want you to push down. And create a sound when you do that. Our senses are always on external objects. And therefore, whenever your organs are using something externally, it loses the connection of that internal stuff. So the idea is to get rid of external things, including sound, and see if you could create stuff inside that you're using your senses with. For instance, sound. Listen to something that's coming out of your own body. It almost sounds like the ocean. And you make that sound in your throat. If you can't hear a sound, do this again. blow out, and then push in. So now when you take an inhale, lift your chest when you breathe. And make that sound, and then exhale, push down. See if you can create a really loud sound when you breathe. And notice that your ribs open. Open it up. And then you notice that it might fall. Don't let it fall. Instead, inhale, open the chest. Exhale, suck stomach in. Okay, again, inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, suck your stomach in. If they say in some old text that it sounds like a cobra, that sound that you make, I've never heard a cobra before. I think it sounds like Darth Vader. Or maybe the ocean. Create something that your senses need to listen to, but internal, that sound. All right. Now, here's another couple little techniques of this breath. I'm going to make it even more complicated for you guys. I'm going to make everything so complicated that you have to pay attention. You have to think about what's happening inside. So now, the breath, you'll notice, has a direction, right? It goes up, and it goes down. Close your eyes for a moment. See if you can see that direction happening. Close your eyes. And I want you just to envision something going up and something going down. Now what I want you to do is we're going to envision two things happening. As you're inhaling up, I want you to envision something pulling down on your low belly. So pull your low belly down as you inhale. And now as you exhale and you go down, I want you to inhale, lift up even higher. So it's like a figure 8 almost, like something comes up, something comes down. Don't let it be just one movement up and one movement down. I want it to be two movements happening. I want you to learn how to separate your upper and lower abdomens. And you'll find that as you do that, you're still engaging. Remember I said you got to pull the belly back when you're sitting up? So you're still engaging, but we're lifting up as we inhale, but then we're lifting up as we exhale. Don't fall. Don't create expansion and then exhale, fall down. I want you to inhale, open this chest up, and then exhale, open it up even more. And engage it. Okay, the one last technique then, and this will be considered what we call the ujjayi breath in yoga. The next thing that it has to happen for it to be called this certain breath is it has to be even, which means even inhale, even exhale. These have to be even numbers. So now close your eyes, do it again, but I want you to count how many seconds it takes. So count how many seconds you're lifting, how many seconds you're engaging, seeing if you could really think about that, what's happening in your belly as you inhale and you exhale. Make those numbers as even as you can. If you were able to count to 6 on this next round, count to 8. See if you could slow it down a little bit. Slow it down as much as you can, because the secret, they say, is that everybody is born with a certain amount of breaths per lifetime. Secret to life is to extend your breath, you extend your life. Okay? This is only a certain amount of time. So the idea is to learn how to control this, even in the most chaotic environments. You know, slow it down. Breathing under chaos. Breathing and controlling that. And then relax. Now, if you ever heard someone say, relax, just breathe, you can't just relax, just breathe. You have to build the muscles to be able to breathe and relax enough. So practice that. Practice breathing every day. I promise that, you know, when you journal, count, or maybe a little mark of like where your breath is at. Like today I was taking a 5-second breath, 10-second breath. I promise you, by the time this goddess challenge is over, you will be breathing for 20 seconds inhales, and you will be breathing for 20-second exhales. If you practice this every day, and again, take notes and see if you could keep lengthening your breath and engaging your stomach. So that's the ujjayi breath. That's a very common, typical breath. You should try that when you do most exercises. See if you could breathe controllably as you exercise and engage your stomach and do all of that. while you're doing other things in life. That's the key. So that's one breath. So I'm gonna teach us one more pranayama today. So the next pranayama I'd like us to learn is something called Anulom Vilom. And what this is, I'm going to teach us a couple different steps because it does get a little complicated. First, we're just going to learn how to inhale and exhale out through different nostrils and just to see how that feels. So bring your right hand up and put your index finger and your middle finger down. Okay. And you're going to close your right nostril with your thumb. There you go. Okay. So, and then we're going to switch. First, just kind of do this for a moment, just so you know how it looks. Okay. So it's pinky, thumb, pinky, thumb. Okay. So what we're going to do is I want us to inhale through our left nostril. And now switch, exhale through your right. And then inhale through your left. Exhale through your right. Inhale through your left. Hold. So you can hold your breath for a moment. Exhale through your right. So we're going to do that again. We're going to inhale through our left. Hold our breath for as long as you can with both. Squeeze both. Release, exhale when you're ready. Okay. We call it inhale, retention, exhale. So we're inhaling, we're retaining, and then we're exhaling. Okay, so now we're actually going to start the pranayama with the hard stuff. So now we're going to add in a ratio to get involved in this of how long we're doing it for. So we're going to inhale for 3 seconds only. And then we are going to hold our breath for 12 seconds. And then we're going to exhale for 6 seconds. So if you want to write this down, because you can practice this too, it's 3-second inhale, 12 seconds hold, 6-second exhalation. Okay. And then I want you to write down this underneath it, because if that's too easy, which it might be easy, I want you to do a 4-second inhale, a 16-second hold, and then a 10-second exhale. And then the third one, so maybe in about a week, I'm just going to give you the third one because I hope that you guys are practicing this and you're going to have to get it up another level. The third one, can anybody guess what it is? 5 seconds, 20-second hold. You guys guess what the whole third one is? I'll tell you. 10-second exhale. Okay. So it's a ratio of 1, 4, and 2. Okay. So let's start with 3. Let's all do 3 together, and then we'll move to 4 as a group, or you can stay at 3, but let's all do 3. So ready? Hold on. So open your left nostril. And then inhale ready for 3 seconds. Hold. 12. Exhale for 6. Try it again. Ready? Inhale for 3. Hold for 12. Exhale for 6. Ready? Inhale for 4. Hold for 16. Exhale for 8. And then relax. If you want to take control over your life, you got to take control over your breath. Okay. Practice this. Practice breathing, holding, retaining, exhaling, and building this diaphragm. Okay. So that when stress comes, you know that this keeps happening. What I find that if this doesn't move, this means your blood doesn't move. And that means the blood sits in joints and it rots. So don't let the blood sit and rot in places. Make sure that you're practicing, you're adding pranayama, you're adding breath work with your goddess time. It's a very important part of it too. I could go on for, I know, many, many more pranayamas, some really, really cool ones. I'm sure we are going to host another workshop throughout this challenge. So stay tuned and we'll learn some more cool techniques. But I bring it over back to Nikki.
Yes, thank you, Julia. That was awesome. And in fact, Julia, what is the workshop that you're going to be blessing us with in the future?
Well, I like to do the next workshop, even a little yoga workshop, a little bit more movement in the next one of teaching us how to strengthen not just our diaphragm, but maybe some really simple techniques that we can all do, even though we're sitting in a chair at work, that we could do. So I love to show us some more pranayamas in the future. That was just 2. I probably know at least 10 more different ways to strengthen it, and then get into the physical body. And I also love to get involved with spirit more. So we'll see. Right now we are in the buffalo moon, the new moon, and we're transitioning into the full moon. So think about what that means. A lot of these workshops are about going through these seasons of virtues. So they say that every moon opens up a virtue for us. And if you could learn from that virtue, you could get, extended into the next realm of understanding. So this actually is just starting now. This is when the heart opens up. This is when the cycle begins again. So it's really cool that we're starting these circles. So we'll, on the next full moon, we could learn more about what buffalo means and what that energy is about purity. So it's all about purity of the heart right now. So take some notes on if there is any kind of impurities and how we could fix all of that. But yeah, so we got lots of cool stuff that we could do.
Thank you so much, Julia. It's going to be awesome. It was all in line with wanting to make sure that this program started on new moon, and I think it's awesome that it started on buffalo moon. When we will know more about that, we do have a full moon ceremony that will be planned for you all when full moon happens. And then we have Miss Alana Bell. Miss Alana Bell, what workshop are you going to bring to us? What you blessing us with?
We are going to talk about the tension between routine and rituals and what that really looks like in our everyday lives. I think the power of language, calling something routine and calling something a ritual, they're very different things. And really taking inventory of what do we have to do in our life? What do we make space for? And how do we make that space? How do we actually exalt things that actually nourish us? Where do we make those pockets of time? How do we create sacred rituals for ourselves, even if it's in a small pocket of the day? How do we commit to that? And how do we understand that those things are not being selfish, but that is part of how we feed ourselves and water ourselves? And then making the distinction that some things, like laundry for me, I'm never gonna really wanna do it. It's just part of the jam that I got to do to live, and that's okay. And so making sure that we understand that there are always going to be things that aren't our favorite thing to do, but it's always easier when we make space for the things that really feed us and nurture us. So we'll be talking about that.
Oh, I love it. Excited about that. And then the last workshop that I'll be bringing in will be self-care. What are some of the self-care tips that we can be doing? And it actually bounces off with Miss Alana with, she's going to be explaining, okay, ritual versus routine, or routine versus ritual. And I'm going to be like, so the how-tos, what you want to do for your ritual, what you want to do for your routine, what you want to do, how do we do it? So that's going to be awesome. And then that's also going to be tapping into nutrition as well. I think it's very important that we are getting our spiritual selves cleansed and detoxed, and it's important for our insides to also be cleansed, detoxed as well. So we'll be talking more about nutrition, gut healing, all that great stuff. So I am really excited that we were all able to jump on. I know we're a little over on time, but what we really wanted to do was kind of break you guys out into breakout rooms so you guys can discuss about your first week of encountering goddess time and how it made you feel. What were some of the hurdles, what have you. So what I'm going to do, this is our first time using the breakout room, so we're really excited. So there's 8 of us, and it suggests that we go into 2 rooms, and I'm just going to have them do that. Okay. So I'm gonna put y'all, hold on, I'm gonna make sure that we're all broken out. Okay, good. Okay, so y'all have a party. Okay, I'm gonna give y'all 5 minutes to talk to each other. Don't be shy now. Make sure you participate. Okay. Hey y'all, do I have everybody back? Oh, this is fun. Look at everybody traveling on back. Did you guys like those breakout rooms? Hold on, we still missing some folks. Uh-oh, did we lose some people? Oh, you're so welcome. Oh, you guys can unmute. Everybody can talk. You guys can, because that's the last thing that we're gonna do. We're gonna put you guys in breakout rooms and then have a group discussion so everybody can get to know everybody. But I feel like we're missing Tamara. There you are. Okay, here's everybody. I got excited because it was our first time, and then I got sad because I was like, we're missing a room. I don't know how to fix this. So how'd you guys like the breakout sessions? A little more intimate time with each other?
It was actually
Yeah.
amazing. I loved it.
Good. Anything and does anybody, before we close out, because we're definitely, like I said, we're going a little over, just wanted to know if there's anything that you guys wanted to share with the group, or something, one of the days that really touched you, or what you noticed, or this is an open space. I'm going to pass the crystal talking stick, and who would like to take it? Any takers? That's not a place to be shy now. Come on.
So
What is it, Nicole? I didn't hear what you said it was.
This is a crystal talking stick, and when I pass it to somebody, that means they have the floor.
So the reason why we like to do this at the end, because they always say as women we need to mourn the rhythms of life, right? So we like to always end our talks and our workshops and ceremonies with anybody ever has anything on their mind. We want to make sure that they have a sacred space where they could share. It could be anything. It could be something that you learned. If we meditate during meditation, it can be something that's on your mind. It can be something that you spoke to someone in the breakout rooms. So we always like that we're not the only ones talking, because I could talk here forever and Nikki could talk here forever. So we always like that. And if anybody has anything they want to share, and it could be something not even related to anything we did today. Does anybody that has anything they want to voice or come out, you could more than welcome, raise your hand right now and get that crystal.
Okay, Ruth, it's yours.
Sure.
I was talking to the group that tomorrow, I don't know if everybody was aware that tomorrow is the great conjunction for 2020, and was when there's alignment of what planets, Nikki?
It's Jupiter and Saturn, right?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Hold on. I don't know. I Googled it really quickly.
Jupiter's, because Jupiter, Saturn.
Yeah. It's and I think it's like hasn't happened in 400 years.
Whoa.
For those 2 planets, and I think it's like 20 years for alignment for 2 planets. So this is, it's like a big astronomical energy shift that's going to be tomorrow, in case anybody else wants to look into it and kind of correlate our cards tomorrow to the energy that's around us in the universe. think
It's
that
gonna
would be
interesting what will
cool.
start to play out, as Ruth was saying. She was like, it's gonna be interesting to see you guys this next day, day 7, 8, 7,
Seven.
day 7, and how that's gonna flow out.
Little motion, the little thing.
Thank you, Miss Ruthie. Miss Alana, you can unmute yourself. You're a co-creator. Thanks.
Oh, I know. I'm always up in the chat so that everyone can try to take, make sure people can see stuff in the chat. I don't have nothing to say though. Besides, thank you, Ruth.
Yes, Ruth. Thank you. Anybody else for the crystal talking stick? Or a wand? This is not a stick. This is definitely a wand. Hello, somebody.
I have to jump out of this right now, but I love you guys.
We're all leaving now. So blessings. Thank you. We'll see you guys next Sunday. And many blessings. We have Miss Julia that will be coming up next Sunday. Okay.
All right. Bye.
Later. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.